Hello, welcome back to the Wizard's Tower. If you watched my previous video, this is picking up directly after it. So we are now going to unbox the Cthulhu Death May Die Unspeakable box, which is all of the stretch goals from the Kickstarter, the Season 2 expansion, and the Scarlet promo that I've got, that I completely forgot the name of then and had to look at. If you haven't seen the previous video, go back and watch that. We will unbox we do unbox the core game, the Black Goat of the Woods expansion, and some extra dice I got. So without further ado, let's get involved in this next lot. Here we are again. Okay, so let's start with the expansion. So this is the Cthulhu Death May Die. If I can get it into camera. There you go. Season 2 expansion. Okay, so on the back, got all of the what's inside, all of the contents. There we go. Dee. I know that Katie is as well, very excited to get this to the table because I've been wanting to play this. What has it been? Over a year since we backed it, so... Okay, so more tiles. That's pretty cool. Okay. Sacrificial chamber. Very cool. Crack those open in a bit. Even more investigators. Look how many you get. Loads. Okay, so as before with the core box, here are your additional scenarios. So this is another 6. So it would take this expansion, because I don't believe it comes with... No, it doesn't come with an old one. So this, purely just this expansion, would take the unique scenarios out of the core box, which, if you remember, there are 6 in that, but because there were 2 old ones, that made it 12 because you combine them. So this then brings that up to 24, and then if you take into account the Black Goat, which puts another 12 scenarios into that, so that makes it 36. So if you were to get, and this is retail, so you can get all of this retail. So if you were to get the core, the Season 2 expansion, and the Black Goat, you would have 36 unique scenarios in that in the game, in the 2 expansions, which is pretty cool. So as before, it's got the contents of them on the back. I'm not going to crack them open because they're kind of meant to be kept a secret until you play them. We'll pop those back in there. There you go. There you go. Lovely. Put you to one side. Right, and we've got even more miniatures. Right, we'll start with the, no, we won't start with that. We'll start with the bottom. That makes a lot more sense. Oh, good lord, with the tape. Okay. Here is where I start to fall down on what some of these monsters are. I think that's an elder thing. Really nice. As always, the sculpting on these is astounding. I think that's a dimensional shambler, which is really lovely. Oh no, these might be, or are they the Migos? I'm not sure. I think Migos might have been a stretch goal actually. So anyway, more Gribbly monsters. Look at that. I think that's a Hound of Tinderloss, if I remember rightly. That's definitely a Flying Pulp. So yeah, the reason I can't just crack out a monster deck and look at it is that the monster decks are included in the Elder One boxes and the scenario boxes. So, and I'm trying to keep those a secret for myself. Was that everything? No, this as well. Look at that. Really, really nice sculpting on these. Cool. That's tray 1. Really nice. You get, what's 5 of those, and then we're on to even more investigators. Another explorer type. Some kind of shaman. It's really cool. Is that a nurse? It looks like a nurse. Based on a book, I'd say that was some kind of librarian. Another shaman type. Oh, I lay not on thick with the shamans. Some kind of, I would say a doctor maybe, or a driver maybe. That's definitely a sailor. That's really cool. And a farmer. Lovely. Oop. Fingers, Pete. There we go. And a priest. Of course you gotta have priest. Get back. Right. So that is the content of that. And then, as I said, you've got, it's just 2 sheets of these. So I won't open them because you can see just more punch boards. And these, which we will do, but first, let's pop these back. Yeah. And let's learn who all of those people were. Ah, yes. I'm going to fight with the super shrunk. There we go. So we have got Father Luke from Ireland. Nice. Mary Diaz. She was the one that I said was a librarian. Was I right? Doesn't really say. Sergeant Mario Bragheri. Is it Bragheri? Somebody want to tell me how you say that? Is it Bragheri? I get the feeling it is. Anyway, it's Mario. Pretty cool. Alex Parker. No, he's a soldier. He's not a doctor. It's pretty cool though. Sam Wood, the farmer. From Wichita, Kansas. You've got Machinist's Mate, Tony Boyle. That was the sailor guy. Halia Hovath, Transylvania. It's pretty cool. Margaret Richter. Is she actually a nurse? Or is she... By the artwork, she looks more like a maid. Might be a maid. If the meat is too tough and you need a sharper knife. Yeah, she's some kind of maid or cook. I thought she was a nurse. Ariel Venturi. He's the explorer type. And then Adela Vidal. Cool. Right. That is the expansion box done. Let's start off the Kickstarter exclusive stuff with the promo. Wow, that is... Okay, CMON, you really have to do something about your packaging. That is a ridiculous waste of cardboard. Not to mention quite a pain to get out. So in this box, you can see Scarlett's kind of in a corner there, look, and her character card. And that is it. That was all that was in this box. That's ridiculous. Can I get that out easily? Ah, there we go. That's just silly. Okay. But the Scarlet Mini, which was one of the Kickstarter exclusives, I can't remember if this was the exclusive just for backing, but I believe that each of the expansions also came with an exclusive as well. But there's Scarlet Mini. Really nice. And then it's Scarlet Haze from Baltimore, Maryland. Nice. Let's put that to one side. I will not be keeping it in that box. That was silly. And finally, the Kickstarter exclusive stretch goals. And there's a lot of investigators on the back. 18 of them, in fact. As well as Dagon, Yog-Sothoth, loads of bits and bobs. Right, so let's open this up. There's also the plastic dashboards are in here. Nice touch. I've heard they're pretty flimsy, but they don't really need to be like hard plastic to work. Right, so as before, as you can see, there are now 2 extra. I'm not even going to do the math, but that's a lot of replayability. Not to mention, there are 3 lost episodes in here as well. So there is a lot of replayability. But unless you backed it, you're not going to be that kind of excited about the replayability, because obviously this is all Kickstarter exclusive stuff. That said, you can always pick up Kickstarter exclusive stuff aftermarket. I know there was a lot of retail pledges that got these. So these are the plastic dashboards. Is that all you do? Is one on top of the other, or is there like a base? Oh no, there's a base unit. So and you take one of these top units. Get out of the way for a second. Let's grab you, Scarlet. So, normally you would be placing cards under here, your discovery cards. You'd have the bits and bobs on there. But with these plastic dashboards, you just... It doesn't actually clip, it just sits. Okay, that's fine. And then as you can see, it gives you all the recessed parts to put all of your tokens. You can literally slide the discovery cards in underneath. It's really nice. That was just a stretch goal, so I'm happy with that. They're nothing special. They're certainly not the Zombicide Black Plague levels of production, but for what they are, they're actually really nice. Let's get back to what's in here, shall we? Okay, so we have a tray of miniatures. We've got more episode boxes. These have minis in them? Because they're huge. Why are these so big compared to the other boxes? Probably open it on the right. Oh, yeah. Oh no, that means I've got to open these story boxes to show you the miniatures. Oh, there's so much stuff in here. Wow, discovery cards, all sorts, and then some of the miniatures that are in these episode boxes. That makes unboxing this lot quite annoying, to say the least. I wanted to kind of keep all these boxes a complete surprise until we use them. So what's in here then? Migos and Yithians. I'll just show you the pictures. There you go. Lost episode 1, Lost episode 2, Lost episode 3, which obviously won't have any miniatures in it. And then you have got, okay, I will open these because they are Mythos. So if you're keeping count on unique scenarios, so that would be like what, 12, that's 15 unique scenarios, and 2, 3, 4, 5 of the old one boxes. So what is 5 times 15? That would be 60, 70, 75? Wow, that seems high. 75 unique scenarios. Okay. Oh. Very nice. That's Wilbur Whately. Don't get me in trouble for what's. And here is Yog-Sothoth, him, her, itself. Look at that. A huge piece of writhing tentacles and death and madness and hell. And obviously extra tokens, cards, Mythos cards. Okay, go in there like so. A lot of this is going to end up staying in the box for a while because I think we are going to try and kind of play through the core game using only the core game components, and then we'll play through it in order rather than mixing everything together straight away. So this is another stretch goal old one, and this one is Dagon. I believe these are tokens for turning into deep ones. Again, more cards. And there's the big fella himself. I will be completely honest, I was ever so slightly disappointed with the design for Dagon. But that's because Shadow over Innsmouth and Dagon and that whole Innsmouth Marsh family and the deep ones, to be fair, I'm not too keen on them. They're great, but yeah, those are all my kind of favourite Lovecraftian stories. So my expectations were a bit higher than with other things. That said, I mean, it is a really nice miniature. Just not quite how I imagined Dagon, but then again, I didn't make this game, so it's not my imagination, is it? It's somebody else's. How do you go back in? Obviously don't go back in like that. Ah, there we go. Go! Oh, back in the box feet. Not playing ball. I got that the wrong way around. I got that the wrong way around. Nice. Let's get on to some of the miniatures. I say some, this is the last of them in the stretch goals. There we go. Ooh. There we are. Huh. But as always, all of these sculpts are absolutely stunning. There is so much detail in the miniatures. Sword cane, nice. Da, da, da. Aha, there's the nurse. I knew there would be a nurse. Is this a pilot? Yeah, she looks like a pilot. She's fucking cool, actually. Really, really, really cool. A lady with a machine gun. Is this a... I think it's a doctor. Nice. And... old man with a grenade. What more could you want? Depends on which insanity he gets, I guess. And then beneath that lot, there's just a few more. That sword's a little bent, otherwise. Another shaman. Looks like a high school, possibly a cheerleader. Nice. See the detail on these. It's very impressive what they can do these days. These miniatures are so nice. Gonna end up using these in other games, I think. Wonder how many people will use these in their Call of Cthulhu RPG. Maybe even could use some of them in mansions, I guess. This is, oh, that's got quite a bit of mould lines on her hand. I don't know if you can see it, and the sword's bent, but that's okay. The hot water trick will fix that in no time. Bit of a manic smile on him. And this is the Einstein-inspired guy. There we go. Away, I'm guessing. Yeah, there we go. Right, so those done and dusted. Now let's last item, and then I can let you guys go and try and find it fairly cheap on eBay, I guess. I say cheap, you're not going to find it cheap at this point, but you might find it for a reasonable price on eBay. Cool. There's Julia Hollister, Al Capone, Richard Irons, a licensed troubleshooter, so I'm guessing that's meant to be James Bond. Olivia Duchamp, Quite a lot of Brits in this. Quite happy about that. Mackie Smith. Tina Machine. A Fleur de Boy. Or de Bois. De Boy? It's De Boy, isn't it? Nice. Ernest Hemingway. Albert Einstein. There you go. Maxim Gray. Roxy Mitchell Williams. Margie Westmoreland. You got Meryl Starling. That's a torch she had in her hand. I wonder what it was. Pops Dupont. That's pretty cool. Got Walter Baggett. You've got Professor Vincent Haas. Marcelo Gonçalves. I can't. Somebody tell me how you pronounce it. That. He's pretty cool. And Josephine Leclerc. Very nice. So that's everything that is in my pledge. Obviously I didn't get the art book and I didn't get the frosted dice, but I believe I got just about everything else. So that was my fairly lengthy unboxing of my Cthulhu Death May Die pledge. Hopefully it was a bit more palatable spread over 2 videos. But yeah, that was... I'm very excited to play this. I will be getting it to the table. We will probably have it set up by tonight. I just need to tidy away some of the stuff because I had a little sort of my shelves in order to fit this. It's not going to take up as much room as I'd feared, which is quite nice. It pretty much, except for the black goat and the ridiculous Scarlet box, which I will find a new home for. But yeah, other than that, it's just 3 boxes, so I should be able to get it. We have the Kallax stack, so I should be able to get it in 1 Kallax pigeonhole. So, what else is going on? I have no idea yet, and it's quite nice to not have a schedule. I will think up and put out a video next week. There's a couple of bits I've wanted to do for a while, so we'll see where we go with that. But otherwise, take care. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like. It will help loads. And if you really want to see more, then click that subscribe button. You can share it with friends. You can send me lots of money. You can sacrifice goats in my honour. Whatever you want to do to help us out would be wonderful. But that like and subscribe is all you need to do. And I will see you next time. Take care of yourselves.